Tony's Topics. Welcome to Tony's Topics. My name's Tony and these are my topics, and I want to get into the NFL review, or more or less my NFL picks for Week 14 before they get here. So it's the Wednesday night before it all goes down, so let's call it off. First up, Dallas versus Chicago. Easy, Dallas. Next up, Pittsburgh versus Cincinnati. I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals on that one. You know, I know you Pittsburgh Steelers fans still have hope, but the Bengals, again, they just don't like to lose. Okay, the Colts versus Cleveland. You know, now everybody's getting excited about Johnny Manziel being out there and stuff like that, and that's nice, but it's going to take him a little bit of time to get acclimated to being in the game. So I'd probably go with Andrew Luck and the Colts on that one. Next up, let's see here. Tampa Bay versus Detroit. Detroit has a monster defense. Unless you're one of the elite teams, Detroit's going to put you down. Next up, Houston versus Jaguar. Houston versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Who cares? But I'd go with Houston Texans, easy. Baltimore versus Miami. I'd probably pick Miami in that one. Yeah, you know, I don't know. Maybe it's the fans or whatever, but I guess I'd go with Miami. The Jets versus Minnesota Vikings. I'll go with the Vikings on that one. You know, the Vikings every now and then just kind of keep surprising you. Let me see here. Carolina versus the Saints. I'll pick the Saints. Carolina has done me dirty enough this season, so I'll go with the Saints. Let's see here. The Giants versus Tennessee. Giants? Like it takes much. St. Louis versus Washington. You know, I really like to go with the St. Louis Rams in this. I mean, they upset all the good teams. Why not win? You know, I mean, seriously. They're so good at putting a loss on all the great teams in the league. So whatever. Kansas City versus Arizona. I have to go with Kansas City because of the diminished Arizona. You know, it's like they lost Palmer, they lost Fitzgerald, and now it's just there goes their winning season. You know, and it's just such a horrible thing to see. But you know, Buffalo versus Denver. San Francisco versus Oakland. San Francisco. Yeah. San Francisco's got enough in the tank for that one. Now the Seahawks versus Philadelphia, the game of the night. That's right. I mean, we'll skip ahead and talk about New England versus San Diego. New England, they're going to be revengeful after losing last week. And Atlanta versus Green Bay the following Monday. Or Monday Night Football, Atlanta versus Green Bay. Green Bay. I mean, good grief. If you can beat the Patriots, you can beat most anyone. Yeah, you can practically beat most anyone. Honestly, speaking on that Green Bay thing, I guess I could say the only losses that Green Bay's taken this season, well, significant losses to good teams, were early in the season, and those teams had really star defenses. So, I mean, Green Bay has a weakness to teams that are really strong on defense. Andrew Luck is pretty amazing, so you've got to put a blitz on that guy to really shut him down. Otherwise, you're probably not going to crack Green Bay. Later on, they lost to something like the Saints in the middle of the season. I don't know what that was about. But early on, it seems, if you're going to put a loss on Green Bay, you got to have that real major defense. I think, Detroit did it and the Seahawks did it. So, you know, if you're missing major defense, you're just not going to stop Green Bay. That team is pretty tough. That guy, Rodgers, that guy is etched in my mind after last week. So moving back, New England versus San Diego, already addressed that. So the Seahawks versus Philadelphia. I'm taking the Seahawks. The real truth about the Seahawks, if they wouldn't have traded Golden Tate, they'd probably have a 10-2 record instead of an 8-4. You know, or I think that's what it is, 8-4. So yeah, I mean, honestly, that team is still great. Their defense is still one of the best defenses around. Their running game is still one of the best running games around. So the Seahawks still get down. What they lost was their throwing game. Now, Harvin wasn't so much of a loss because it wasn't like Harvin was going out for a lot of deep passes. But Golden Tate was so good that he forced the defenders to have to focus on him, and that allowed for Baldwin and Kearse and, you know, whoever else they play, the other Wilson or Heflin, to catch a lot more passes that they now aren't going to get because now the defenders can really focus on them. You know, the other team's safeties and cornerbacks can be all over those guys. But Golden Tate really freed up that space. So I just hate that the Seahawks lost Golden Tate. I mean, seriously, they could have been back-to-back champions had they not lost Golden Tate. Because, I mean, you look at their record this season, and some of those losses were really close where Golden Tate could have pushed them over the cliff, or pushed them over the edge to win it, really. So, but I think Seahawks are going to beat Philadelphia because, Philadelphia's got that high-flying offense, but the defense on the Seahawks is mean. That's not the Cowboys' defense that they're going against. They're going against Seahawks, I'll break you in half defense. So I think the Seahawks are going to shut down Philadelphia. I think the running game is enough. And my boy Russell Wilson, he can make, he makes lemonade out of lemons all day. You know what I mean? He's going to get it off. He's going to throw it. He's going to chop it off to Marshawn Lynch, or he'll run it himself. That's my man. So either way it goes, those are my picks for this NFL week 14 coming up. Catch you next time. Tony's Topics.